Hari Om to all the Atma Jyotis. Jai Shri Ram. So let us continue with Dharma Kshetra class with the prayer. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunāthāya Nāthāya Sītāya Pataye Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa-Chanūramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So, as we discussed, just a minute. So we were discussing Vibhuti Yoga, and now we are actually discussing the Vibhutis. Vibhutis means the glories of God. So specifically, God will go on telling the glory of himself in each and every species. Of course, 84 lakh yonis you cannot describe. So he says, I will describe some specialities of mine within the limitations that we have. Why does he start talking about all this? Because Arjuna asks him, oh, so beautiful, you yourself have described about, you yourself are telling about your glories, but specifically, if I have to meditate on you, how should I meditate, anta? So, of course, I know that everything is Brahman, everything is Krishna, the whole world is Jagat is Krishna and all that is good, fine. But still, to meditate, I need to focus on some particular item. So that's why when Arjuna requests, Krishna obliges. And some 20 verses in the Vibhuti Yoga is about the Vibhutis of the Lord. So let us look at these verses. They are very, very, very beautiful. There is no two ways about it. And they are very interesting because some of these terms are some of these personalities that we come across are very familiar, and we will enjoy talking and sharing more about it. So what we thought was, let us chant each shloka about the Vibhutis and then contemplate on it. Little, there is nothing much to contemplate. Yeah, who wants to chant this? One person can chant one shloka. That should be enough. Aham ātmā guḍākeśha sarva-bhūtāśhaya-sthitaḥ aham ādiśh madhyaṁ ca bhūtānām anta ca. This is the first Vibhuti, the Lord. He starts from here. Jaishri, you want to chant that? (10.20)
aham ātmā guḍākeśha sarva-bhūtāśhaya-sthitaḥ aham ādiśh madhyaṁ ca bhūtānām anta ca.
Yes. Oh Arjuna, I'm heated in the center. I'm seated in the heart of all living entities. I'm the beginning, I'm the middle, and I'm the end of all beings. So beautiful. Again, this is a glorious verse, which again reaffirms what we know about Bhagavan already, of course. So any contemplation on this? Guḍākeśha, the meaning of guḍākeśha is Arjuna, he calls Arjuna guḍākeśha. The meaning is guḍāka-isha. Guḍāka means tamas. Isha, the one who has conquered tamas. He is guḍākeśha. So what is he saying? Aham ātmā guḍākeśha sarva-bhūtāśhaya-sthitaḥ. We know that. He's been telling all of us all the time, I am in all the living beings. Especially where? What does Ramana Maharshi say about where does God live in us? In the heart.
In our heart. In our heart.
In our heart. That's why Ramana used to say, spiritual heart, meditate on the spiritual heart, anta. So, and then aham adi, aham madhyama, aham anta. Everything is me. And in some translation, it says, I am the alpha and the omega. So beautiful. This is God himself declaring that, I'm everything. That's why Vivekananda used to say, never approach anything except as God. Because the base is God. In everything, the base is Krishna. And we get caught up with the names and forms and the on surface level interactions. And we tend to forget that it is actually Krishna who's transacting through that body-mind complex with us. It is so important to understand. Any you want to share, you can make. Any more you want to share on this? From a dust particle to the quasars, to the most sukshma, to the most sthula, anoraniyan, mahatomahiyan, everything is Krishna. And so how do we approach this Krishna? How do we meditate on this Krishna who is in the heart? Easiest method. In Helo, what do we do?
Breathing. In the breathing, you center in your heart center and remember him.
Just close the eyes and ask who is this anta? Who exists?
Who am I? Who am I?
Who? Just close the eyes and feel your own existence. Feel your own existence. So the life throbbing in me. So if somebody asks, do you exist? I say, yes, I exist, anta. But who is this I? I confuse this I with myself. It is actually God. God is saying, I'm the one who is existing there, not the small entity that you think you are. That's the beauty. The same existence that I feel is Krishna. But I continuously and unfailingly confuse it with me, that small me. It is so simple to approach Krishna. Just close the eye, feel the existence and say, oh, this is God. This is Ishvara. Idam vritti tu aham vritti. This verse was chosen by Ramana to talk about in the Upadesha Sara. He said, if there is one shloka in the entire Gita, if one would have to learn, it is this shloka. This gives everything because it's the Adi and the Antya and the Madhyama. Everything. So another way of looking at Adi, Madhyama and Antya is the three states of our three states of consciousness. What is that? Waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Who is there in all the three states? Only Ishvara. In the waking state, background is Ishvara. In the dream state, background is Ishvara. In the deep sleep state, who is there? Only Bhagwan. Nobody else. That small me is also gone. That is why he is the Adi. When nothing is there, he is there. That is the meaning of aham ādiśh madhyaṁ cha anta eva. Bhūtānām anta eva cha. Okay? ಇನ್ನೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Else we shall go.
ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ I am going to the Atma in you.
Yes.
I am going to the Atma in you.
ಹೌದು.
Yes.
That is how beautiful our culture is. That's why we don't even kill unnecessarily animals. We don't kill. And that is why all our ancients had devised a system of revering God in all living beings, be it a snake or a monkey or even a pig. See, everything we deify. Why? Because of this. Otherwise, we simply go on, destroying living beings who are not conducive for our existence. So that is the reason the ancients made this. Ellargu puja madbeku. Snakes especially, Papa. Snakes, all these creatures, everything is to be revered. Unlike some cultures where everything is eaten. What happens when you eat everything, kill everything, eat everything, deadly viruses come out of the, are released into the universe and into our bodies. That's what happened a few years ago, isn't it? So that reverence to reverence to all living beings is India's culture, Sanatana Dharma. ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೊಳಗೂ ದೇವರಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ. First you start from that. Starting points itself is that. That's why we even paper ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಳಿದ್ರೆ we say, okay, God, Saraswati. So beautiful culture. We need to preserve it and propagate it to little children. Okay. 21. ādityānām aham viṣhṇur jyotiṣhāṁ ravir anśhumān marīchir marutām asmi nakṣhatrāṇām aham śhaśhī. Who wants to chant? Any volunteer? Helappa. Padmaja?
I'll give a shot.
Yeah.
ādityānām Vishnu jyotiṣhāṁ. I think you can you chant once more?
Yeah. ādityānām aham viṣhṇur.
ādityānām Vishnu
jyotiṣhāṁ ravir anśhumān.
jyotiṣhāṁ ravir anśhumān
marīchir marutām asmi.
marīchir marutām asmi
nakṣhatrāṇām aham śhaśhī.
nakṣhatrāṇām śhaśhī.
So,
Śhaśhī.
ādityānām. Adityas are the sons of Aditi. And there are 12 Adityas. Ādityānām, generally we think it's the moon. But all these celestial cosmic things are called Adityas.
Aditya andre sun, Purnima.
Sunne. But 12 sun. Aditi was the idalva, wife of Kashyapa. She had sons only. S-U-N also. S-O-N also. She had 12 sons.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So there are 12 Adityas, not just our Aditya here. See, all these gods we do not recognize much because they are Vedic gods. And now we have, in the modern, through the ages, we don't worship all the Vedic gods that they worshipped. So they will not be familiar to us. These are 12 Adityas and so many Vasus and all are there. We are not very familiar. So we will just take it as God has said here. So among the 12 sons of Aditi, I am Vishnu. Yarappa Vishnu and even Vishnu also, we know is the manifestation of Narayana. And then specifically which avatar of Narayana means, it says in some commentaries, it's the Vamana Vishnu. Vamana avatar of Vishnu. So that is Shrestha. And then Ravir, amongst the luminous objects, I am the sun. Anśhumān, I am the sun. And then Marichir marutām asmi. What is this maruts? The various types of winds. Are there various types of winds? Yes. Apparently there are 49 types of winds. 49, not 1 or 2. What is that? Yenapadu andre? We know, we ourselves experience. There is typhoons are there, tsunami, twisters are there, storms are there, hot air is there. Alva, what else is there? What other kind of air? Cool breeze is there. fast, very blowing.
Tornadoes
Tornadoes are there.
there. Suli,
Which,
ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದಿರುತ್ತೆ.
Cyclones.
Cyclones are there. So many types are there. 49 types are there.
Hurricane.
Huh?
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes are there with all the fantastic names. Katrina, Yevo and all that. So among all these 49 maruts, what is God? He is Marichi. Marichi is the most pleasant, cool breeze that we want. Always. Beautiful, calm breeze, which refreshing breeze. That is called the Marichi. And so obviously God is identifying when you feel that calm breeze, what should you do? Enjoy the breeze, yes, but think of me. When you see the sky, when you see the sun, think of me. That is why we have the Surya Namaskara. And everything, think of me. When you see, and then he says, nakṣhatrāṇām aham śhaśhī. I am the moon, of course. See, the cosmic celestial, in the galaxy, thousands and suns and moons and stars are there, which are, our moon is, our sun, 1,000 times more powerful than our sun. Everything is there. But for us, for humans, these are most impactful. So we do namaskara to our sun and moon. Ashte. Everything is precious only, but for us, it is this most relevant. Alva? Okay. So when we see all this, we should remember Bhagavan. That's the whole idea. Amele 10.22. Vedanam sāma-vedosmi, devanam asmi vāsavaha, indriyanam manaschasmi, bhūtānām asmi chetana. Yaar chant ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Shaila, you want to chant?
Is it 22, madam?
Yes.
Vedanam.
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು.
Vedanam sāma-vedosmi, devanam asmi vāsavaha, indriyanam manaschasmi, bhūtānām asmi chetana.
Very good. So among the Vedas, which we know are 4 in number, I am sāma-veda. I am sāma-veda. Yakappa nanu sāma-veda? Any thoughts? Why he is selecting sāma-veda?
It's
Because
musical and very interesting to listen to.
Correct.
Yeah.
So anything which is rendered into music, it's easily, it attracts us and we listen. Instead of just mere chanting, that musical chanting is more attractive. So all Vedas are God, indeed. There is no doubt about it. But Sama-veda is special. I am Sama-veda. Devanam asmi vāsavaha. Again, all these Vedic gods, we are not aware who these gods are or what is their role. But he says, Vasava is Indra. So among all the gods, all the devatas, I am the Lord of Devas himself. I am Indra. Vasava means Indra. Devanam asmi Vasavaha. And then Indriyanam manasaha asmi. So is the mind a sense organ? That's a point of contention among scholars. How can is the mind a sense organ, anta? Technically, it is not. We have only 5 senses, but still, it's a subtle sense organ. Because in our dream state, when we are dreaming, we don't have the physical sense organs, hands, legs, nose, nostrils, hear, touch, entadu illa. The mind itself operates as everything. Just think about that. Isn't it? When we are dreaming, the mind takes on the role of every sense organ. and it feels so real. It's
Yeah,
not that-
I mean, drishya vivekanali, we think mind is the one which is seeing everything, sensing, seeing everything before the awareness comes. So mind is the druk,
Mind
seer,
Mind is the truth. But in the dream state, the mind is the doer also. It does everything. Anta. This here, the point is the sense organs, through the sense organs, we experience the world. But in the dream state, through the mind itself, we experience an entirely different universe, entirely different world. Therefore, the mind is superior to all the senses. It can operate independently, whereas the senses by themselves, they cannot operate independently. The eyes can do only one thing, see. The ears can do only one thing, hear. But the mind does not have such limitations. That is why I am the mind among all the senses. The mind makes
Action in inaction, Purnima.
action in inaction. The mind, is it? In
Yeah.
Drikdrish.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. The mind does everything and experiences everything also. Yes, correct. So among the senses, I am the mind. Indriyanam manasa asmi. Bhūtānām asmi cetana. Naturally. In all the living beings, I am consciousness. I am consciousness. In the living beings. In the non-living beings, what am I? We will supply the answer.
sat,
Yes.
and existence.
Correct. Correct. So that is it. In all the living beings, I am Chetana. I am the life in all beings. Every living being is, that's why we are worshipping all the living beings. Okay. 10.23 is next Vibhuti. Rudranam Shankarashchasmi Vittesho yakṣha-rakṣhasām Vasunam pavakaśchasmi Meruh-shikharinām aham. Yes. Kamala, you want to chant?
Yes, Purnimaji. Rudranam Shankarashchasmi Vittesho yakṣha-rakṣhasām Vasunam pavakaśchasmi Merushikaranam aham.
So Rudranam Shankaraha. Again, these Rudras, we know only our Shankara, but many Rudras are there. Among that, I am the most. Shankara means Shamkaroti, the one who is very auspicious, is Shankara. So I am Shankara among all the Rudras. Vittesho Yakshaha. Among the Yakshas and Rakshasas, here God has clubbed Yakshas. We know there are many types of celestial beings are there. Yaksha, Gandharva and all those, Kinnara, Gandharva and all. So among Yakshas and Rakshasas, he has clubbed them both for some reason. I am Vittesha. Who is this Vittesha? Kubera, the Lord of all wealth. I am Kubera. Vasunam Pavakaha. So again, several Vasus are there. Among that, I am Agni, Pavaka. And then I am the Meru among the mountains. So all these are exotic beings which we don't transact with on a regular basis. And so Shamkaroti Shankara. So among the Rudras, in fact, the Vaishnavas don't, more than Vaishnavas, the Madhvas, they call Lord Shiva as Rudradeva. You know, but in the Trinity, he has got equal place among all the other gods, but he is one among the Rudras for the Madhvas. Anyway, so these Rudras are also the sons of Aditi. See, everyone is the son of Aditi. All the Devas, Vasus, Rudras, Adityas, everyone are sons of Aditi. And so this Shankara is I am Shankara. When you see Shankara Bhagavan, think of me. And Kubera is the Lord of wealth, of course, and he is also, he is the financier for the Tirupati, Lord of Tirupati, the Lord of Tirumala. And all the Ashtavashus, I am Agni Devata. Of Agni is, of course, Pavaka. Pavaka means the one who purifies. The one who purifies. That is why I am Pavaka. That's why in our culture, again, when we light the ole, the fire in the morning, we do namaskara to Agni Deva. He purifies. He removes all the bacteria in all the in the water, in the vegetables, in all the dhanyas, in all the food that we cook, and then he purifies everything. What else? As sun, he purifies. He purifies earth as sun, and the dead body also he purifies by burning it to ashes. So Pavaka is very, very important for us, and he is the Hutavahana. Agni is called the Hutavahana. Why? He takes our offerings, as when we put the offerings in the yajna, he takes the offerings to the devas. He is the medium through which we contact the devatas. Hutavahana. So I am the thing. And then Meruhu Shikharam Aham. Meru is again the mythical mountain. We don't know where it is. Though our spinal cord is called the Meru Danda. It's a mythical mountain. It is found in the mythology of several Southeast countries, not just India. So I am the Meru Shikhara. And the word Meru itself is used in the sense of Ati Uttama. Allah? Very, very, very highly accomplished. So we use the word Meru. Okay.
Purnima ji, so is it a illusionary mountain you mean here?
It's a mythical mountain in the sense it comes in the Puranas.
Okay.
See, these Puranas, there are two ways in which we come to know of the truth. Purana and Itihasa. Itihasa is, of course, history. Itihasa, does it happen, anta. So in Itihasa, you can actually have a physical evidence of all these things, whatever is being talked about. But in a Purana is not mythology or myth in the sense what we use in English. Myth is, sullu anta, Allah. It's some fairy tale anta. No. In our thing, in Purana, it did happen, but that it is truth. It is not false. It is not a fairy tale. It is truth. But it is given in the form of stories, which you cannot verify. It is in a different timeline. It's a different realm altogether. So in our Indian culture, this Itihasa and Purana are intermixed. So suddenly in the middle of Ramayana and Mahabharata, you find some mystical things coming and doing stuff and going away. So there is a very thin line between what is mythology and what is history. But it is the truth. What we have to understand is that through Puranas, through these mystical stories, some truth is being conveyed. Ashte. We cannot verify, we don't need to verify also. When they are talking of the Meru, it is about the most beautiful, the highest, whatever. That is how we should take it. Meru mountains. Somebody lived on the Meru mountain. Antandre, he was a very highly evolved being, anta artha. So we have to take it in a metaphorical sense. Most of the Puranic stories. That's why we have different version of Puranas also. Different ways it is told. So there is no need to contest any of that. You just take the essence of it. That's all we need.
Even in Saundarya Lahari, this Sumeru Madhya Shrungastha, it comes like that. So everywhere it is quoted.
Haudu. Can you really spot this Devi? Can you really locate Devi somewhere? Illa, it's mystical. It's Sumeru Madhyastha. Correct. Very beautifully. You can't really, in a physical realm, you cannot locate.
Shriman Nagara Naika. Sumeru Madhya Shrungastha, Shriman Nagara Naika.
Correct. Very, very good quotation you have given. So the Lalita Sahasranama and all the Sahasranamas are full of such mystical descriptions. There is no doubt about it. Mele. Purodasam cha mukhyam mam vid. Purodasam cha mukhyam mam viddi partah bruhaspatim सेनानीमहं स्कन्दः सरसामस्मि सागरः. ಯಾರು ಚಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ರಮಾಮಣಿ, ಆರ್ ಯು ದೇರ್?
Hello. Yes.
ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿ.
तां च मुख्यं मां विद्धि पार्थ बृहस्पतिं सेनानीनामहं स्कन्दः सरसामस्मि सागरः.
So, O Arjuna, Purodhasam, among the priests, aham Bruhaspati, Mam Vidhi Bruhaspatim. Understand that I am Bruhaspati. Senani Maham Skandaha, amongst the warriors, I am Kartikeya, Skanda. Sarasam Asmi Sagaraha, among the reservoirs of water, know me to be the ocean. Sorry. We know that Bruhaspati is the Purohita of the Devas themselves. Therefore, he must be the ultimate. See, we propitiate the Devas through some Purohits here on earth. And to be the Purohit of the Devas themselves, he must be the ultimate. So, when you think of Bruhaspati, think of me. And among warriors, I am Kartikeya, Skanda. We know why Skanda was born, especially to kill whom? Whom did Skanda kill?
Surasena.
Allah. Tarakasura, right? Okay, many among many.
Many are there.
Many are there, but specifically to kill this Tarakasura, he was born. And then what is that? Sarasa must be Sagaraha. Among the rivers, the reservoirs of water, know me to be the ocean. So what are the other reservoirs? There are lakes, there are ponds, there are rivers. There are so many bodies of water, and there are so many kinds of water also. There is in me also, there is so much water, tears, sweat, everything is God only. But when you look at the ocean, it's easier to think of Bhagavan, isn't it? It is so vast. All of us have seen oceans and seas, been to the beach. When you see that vast reservoir of water, definitely the mind will go to, oh my God, Bruhat, how vast this is, how beautiful this is God, anta one feeling bande baratte. So that's what God is saying. Think of, when you see the ocean, think of me. And then what else? Oh, this, you know why this name Sagara has come? Interesting story is there about Sagara. There was this King Sagara. Okay. This King Sagara had once organized an Ashwamedha Yajna. That means he had let a horse free, and whoever ties that horse, he should challenge, and they have a fight, they fight each other, and the winner will is the Chakravarti or whatever. They have a system. They used to have a system. So this Sagara had 60,000 sons. So this is a mythology, Kamala. We cannot go and locate these 60,000 sons. So there is some metaphor over here. 60,000 sons. He had 2 wives. From one wife, he had 60,000 sons. And from the another wife, he had just 1 son. And that son's name, Papa, he was a useless fellow. His name was Asamanjas. Asamanjas. It's a term we use in Kannada. Asamanjas means kind of, stupid or foolish or useless or inappropriate.
Invalid.
Asamanjas. Papa. So Sagara Putra, after 60,000 Velar sons and 1 Asamanjas, this Sagara and this Indra, of course, got scared. When anybody does any Yagna, Yaga, Ashwamedha Yagna, this Indra got scared. Devaraj Indra gets scared. So he abducts this horse itself. The horse itself he abducts. And he ties it up. He goes, Yalli yaar hudukbardu, sigbardu, anta kade hogi, hakpudbeku anbuttu. He goes to Patala Loka, where this Kapila Muni is meditating. This Kapila Muni is great Muni. He is the first among the Munis. He will also come in this Vibhuti. When this Muni is meditating and he is deep in meditation, he ties the horse in his ashram and he runs away, Indra. And these Sagara Putras, they go searching for this Ashwa. They find it nowhere on earth. And so they dig up earth. They dig so much that they reach Patala Loka. Again, see, mystical, metaphorical. You cannot dig up earth. You will go to the core of the earth and you get burnt. If you dig the earth. The mythology says that because they dug up the earth so much, then when it rained, it filled up with water and the oceans were formed. So the Sagara Putras are called as Sagaras. That is why the term Sagara has come. And where this story leads to is to Bhagiratha. We all know the Bhagiratha Prayatna, alva? Do we all know the story of how this Sagara Putra or this Bhagiratha thing happens?
Bhagiratha story, I know Purnimaji, because it's there for, they have introduced in Kannada 3rd grade textbook. They've introduced this story.
Okay.
There also, Bhagirath has 60,000 grandparents.
That's what the same. It's continuation of this story only.
Okay, that's what I correlated with. When you told 60,000, I thought, okay, this is correlated to Bhagiratha.
Yeah. So this Kapila, he burns them all to ashes because they go and think that Kapila Muni has tied up the horse, and he just with his eye, he turns them to ashes. And this Asamanja's son is Anśhumān, and Anśhumān's son is Bhagiratha.
Okay.
And so this Bhagiratha he takes it upon himself that my Pitrus should get Swarga. The right thing should be done by them. So
that's how River Ganga will come on earth.
How the River Ganga. The term Bhagiratha Prayatna has come from this. Because to propitiate Ganga, he meditates for 1,000 years. And then when she comes down, she says, no, somebody has to control me. And propitiate Shiva, he meditates for 1,000 years.
Yeah, the thing is that she tells him that, I'm very fast. You have to, somebody has to stop me because the earth will not withhold my force. So that's when he went back. He goes back and he thinks, who can stop? Then he prays to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva will tell, don't worry, I will, make her to sit on my jata. Then I will, slowly I'll make her to get to earth. So that's how, Lord Shiva has Ganga on his head.
Correct. So there also he has to propitiate Shiva to, okay, Baba, leave her, because Shiva will be very angry with her force. He will tie her up and say, no, please, we need Ganga Anbutu. Again, he has to meditate. And then again, this Ganga has to go to Patala. When she goes to Patala, she floods this Janhu Rishi's ashrama.
Yeah, Janhu Rishi's ashrama, she floods, and again he
will catch her. And then again, this Bhagiratha will start meditate for another.
But he will take her into her mouth and he will leave her from his ears.
Yes, that is why she is called as Janhavi.
Janhavi.
Very interesting, beautiful stories are there about all this. That is why Bhagiratha Prayatna. Chala bidada Trivikrama. He goes on, he keeps on, Papa. That is how one should,
No, that's a story where I was telling somebody that no, never give up attitude should come from that.
never say die.
Never say die.
That is why it is called as Bhagiratha Prayatna. Any effort has to be like Bhagiratha's effort. Okay. So 10.25. Maharshīṇāṁ bhriguraham giram asmekam aksharam yajñānāṁ japa yajñosmi sthavarāṇāṁ himalayah. Indra, you want to chant?
Yes, Purnimaji. Maharshīṇāṁ bhriguraham giramasme
ekam aksharam.
Masmekam yajñānāṁ japa yajñosmi sthavarāṇāṁ himalayah.
Yes. So Maharshinam Bhriguhu aham. I am the Bhrigu among the great seers, the Maharshis. And of the Aksharas. Enado, I am Om, naturally. Yajnanam Japayajnaha asmi. And Sthavarāṇām Himalaya. Among all the immovable things, I am Himalaya. So again, this Bhrigu is again a very interesting character. Why we see the most Shrestha among all these rishis is, Bhrigu is the only one who put the Trinity to test. Trimurtige test kottid Bhrigune. To establish who is the more superior among the Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Bhrigu had done the test. Anyone knows the story of this Bhrigu? If you know, we can just carry on. Anyone knows story of how Bhrigu tested this Vishnu, Shiva and Mahesh?
Please share, Purnimaji. I guess I heard the story by my father when I was small, but I'm not.
Okay. So this Bhrigu, he took it. There was an argument. Again, all these Puranas are fun stories where we can just take it with a pinch of or loads of salt. There was an argument about who is the most Shrestha among the Trimurtis. And Bhrigu said, okay, I will go and test. And so Bhrigu is the Manasaputra of Brahma in himself, Manasaputra of Brahmaji, right? So he goes to his father's house in Satyaloka. He goes to Brahma. Brahma is in a very serious meeting with Saraswati. And when Bhrigu barges in, Brahma says, I'm busy, go away. I don't have time. So Bhrigu is upset. Nobody says no to a sage, whether even if it's your father. All these rishis are to be revered. Okay. And so he was sent away from Satyaloka. Then he went to Kailasa. Kailasa, Shiva is of course a Bholenath, is such a lovely god. He straight away went and embraced Bhrigu to welcome him. Then Bhrigu was upset with that also. He said, I am the great Rishi. How can you embrace me? Or something like that. So he rejected Shiva also and he went to Kailasa, Vaikunta. In Vaikunta, he took something drastic step. Vaikunta, Vishnu was with Lakshmi and they were happily chatting with each other, and they didn't see this one, Bhrigu. So what did he do? Bhrigu went away. When he stayed away, kicked Vishnu on the chest. Lord Vishnu himself, he kicked on the chest. Immediately, what did Vishnu do? He went down on his knees and he touched Bhrigu's feet and apologized. He said, I'm very sorry, I didn't see you coming. You are the great sage. He was not angry. Vishnu was not angry that this man is coming and kicking me. So that is why Bhrigu decided that Vishnu is the most Shrestha. And if someone can kick Vishnu on the heart, then he must be a really great soul. That's why Bhagavan is saying, when you think of Bhrigu, don't think of him as a person who kicked me, but think of me. Think of Bhagavan. So, Bhrigu is like that. And then among words, I am Om. Of course, Om syllable, I am the essence of all the Vedas. Om represents God. And Om represents the three states of being. What is that? Om is a combination of three letters, A, U and Ma. A represents the waking state. U represents the dream state. Represents the deep sleep state. On who is the one behind all the three states? It is Turiya, or the silence. After Om, there is silence. So that is Om. Entire essence of the universe, entire essence of the Vedas, entire philosophy is in this syllable Om. This is the ultimate reality. So, waking and dream states, ego is very active, noisy ego, galate. But in the deep state, the ego is completely sublimated. And the silence is the one which is in the background of all the states. That is why Om is the most Shrestha, essence of all the existence itself is in Om. And then Japayatnosmi, this is very interesting. Why does he say that japa is the most shrestha of all yagnas? Yakappa? Japa ashtu ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? Come on, share some thoughts.
Because as per my knowledge, see, whenever we are doing a japa, our mind and our heart concentrates on remembering the God. That's the reason the japa is being told the shrestha one.
Okay. Anything else?
Japa purifies the mind.
Purifies the mind.
Purifies the mind.
Japa
It can be done anywhere. It can be done anywhere, anytime.
Beautiful. Correct. Exactly. All correct. All valid reasons. It can be done by anyone, anywhere, anytime. It's inexpensive. And it takes you straight to God. What else you want? Any other type of yagna requires so much rituals. Japa yagna does not require. And it need not necessarily be given by a guru also. You take the name of God, it is japa. You can just chant Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. It is japa. You can just chant Shiva, Shiva. Don't even have to say Om Namah Shivaya. Devar hesaru tagondre japa. You don't even have to have a rosary. It is good. If you can have a japa mala, it's fantastic. But you don't have to have that also. Just ajapa. You can go on chanting in your head. That itself is becomes a japa. See, we all do japa on something or other. If not God, on something else. Our mind is always focused on some one task or another, isn't it? That focusing on one task itself is called as japa. So when I focus it on God, it becomes divine and it purifies me. But the main problem with japa is it becomes mechanical, isn't it? It becomes mechanical. That is also fine. Mechanical japa is also fine. But it is the conscious japa which is most effective. Conscious japa. Mechanical japa can happen in the background when we are doing any work, any other work, household work, mundane work. Unconscious japa can happen. But when one sits for conscious japa, this is shared by one of the Mahatmas. He says the way to do conscious japa is, Prabhuji also says, Prabhuji says, you chant one nama of the japa consciously and let it sink in, let it soak in. And you pay attention to it. And you make a note, am I conscious when I'm chanting this? Anta. But the moment you find that your mind has wandered, again you chant. Let it soak in. It is not just japa, japa, japa. You can't go on saying Rama, 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 Rama. No, that is not the way it is to be done. Conscious japa. Chant one name, feel the vibrations, go for the next. Feel the vibrations. This is how conscious japa has to be done. This is what Prabhuji says. Okay. One more and we can stop, I think.
Can I add something, Purnima?
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Please.
Yeah. See, this is a trick actually what I apply. Whenever I consciously with my awareness I do prayer. Something is in background, kids are calling, or my younger one is doing something. So what I do is that time immediately I concentrate on my breathe. So when you concentrate on a breathe, automatically your awareness or your mind will come back to where you are. It
Correct.
doesn't wander here and there. This is I apply
Very nice.
every day. Every day
Very
whenever
nice.
I'm
Very
playing,
nice.
I do this. And this works also.
Hmm.
I've seen myself, like, I have my own, I journal where I make a note. Where am I, where I have to reach. So therein, I understood that, okay, this is what, makes me concentrate on, when I concentrate on my breath, it happens to be that, the awareness is there in your mind. And in many books, I happen to read many books. So in one to two, three books, they have mentioned this only. The mind alert and awareness should be there. Then only, the things will be there. One book I would like to mention is Practicing Mind. This book, I read it for 4 times. Four times I have read it. Every time I read it, I get different essence, because I read this because that tells, like, how to, wire your mind properly. So
Very
that's how, that one, and this Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That I read it twice now. So in that also it tells that the same thing, like how exactly your mind should work. It should be inside out. That's how,
said.
this mind and the breathe, if they are there in one line, then, the awareness will come very easily.
I'm very easy.
Not being, doing, I'm not the person who does, like, all the time japa japa japa, and not that person. If I'm doing a prayer, it should be like
Proper.
with the conscious mind,
Very good.
with the awareness.
Very good. So now we add one dash of Ishwar also in this, Bhagwan, with for japa, and becomes the most beautiful japa. Okay. Done. I think today we can close. So it's already 8. Yeah, there are many more vibhutis till like 20 verses are there. Today we just covered 5. Quickly we can go through, and it'll be interesting what all God is saying about himself, anta. Okay. Okay. Next week, let us see. Do you want to continue this, or shall we go to the next selected shloka?
We'll continue, Purnimaji.
We continue. It's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, fine. Done.
And please tell stories.
Yeah, there are plenty of stories we can like get lost
Yeah.
in it.
Because these stories will, one or the other way, they'll
Bigger.
us to contemplate, or, to tell stories, especially, for my kids, I keep telling stories. So that's a great help, I can say.
Correct. And so this whole Vibhuti Yoga is great for nididhyasana, for meditation, and for this. It is very important. So whenever we see something Shrestha that God has mentioned, immediately the mind should go to him. That's the whole idea. Okay, we will continue next week, and we can close for the